Hey guys, xForts here, and welcome to the X-President build. X-President is a perk deck that was added with the Bodhi character pack, and the way it works is that it kind of piggybacks off Grinder in a sense. That the way Grinder works is that you get health back immediately for every time you do damage. On the other hand, we have X-President, which for every kill you get, you have health stored, and when your health is depleted, you gain what you have stored. So, it's a pretty cool idea, and I just recently finished it and I've been playing around with it. And immediately off the bat, I realized that there was a big downside to this perk deck, and that it is you are very limited to the type of build you can use. So, really, the first time I tried it, I love using the Light Ballistic Vest, and I tried to fit it in his builds as much as I can. So, I immediately thought this would work well with it, and I figured out that no, it can work, but you're going to end up with a lot of wasted skill points, and really in the long run, you'd be better off using a two-piece suit. So let's go ahead and take a look at the build. In Mastermind, we have Inspire, Gunslinger, Equilibrium, Painkillers, Combat Medic, Cable Guy, Endurance, and Leadership all aced out with Basic Dominator and Spotter. The Mastermind skill tree is just so good, and all the skills synergize so well together, and as you can tell, we are going to be running with a pistol secondary. Moving on to Enforcer, we have Die Hard and Transporter aced out, and that's all. Nothing in the Technician skill tree, but I will tell you guys, when I was first messing around with this perk deck, the original build I had was using Bulletproof and C4, and I just realized it wasn't very viable, and we wasted a lot of skills in the skill tree. I just need to make a whole video on the Technician skill tree, and just how different it is from all the other ones, and I really think it needs to be changed up a little bit, so it's actually used more, because I really do think it's the weakest skill tree out of all of them. In Ghost, we have... I'm used to saying Shinobi in every build, but this build we do not have Shinobi. We have Fast Hands and Sprinter, both aced. And in Fugitive, we have Bullseye, Sneaky Bastard, Low Blow, Swan Song, Daredevil, and Thick Skin Basic. Also Uppers Basic, and our ace skills are Trigger Happy, Quick Fix, Duck and Cover, Hidden Blade, and Run and Gun. I tried to squeeze Shinobi into this build, but there really wasn't a single skill point to waste. I mean, we really needed all of these in Mastermind. I guess we could get rid of Die Hard and put it into Shinobi, and maybe even Cleaners and Cap Burglar or something like that. But I really just think we moved so fast already with the two-piece suit and the weapons that we're using. I really didn't notice a difference playing with Shinobi or without Shinobi. And so, yeah, let's talk about the Fugitive skill tree for a little bit. Obviously we're going to be running with a two-piece suit, and we're going to be trying to maximize dodge. So with the weapons that we're going to be using, it's going to get our concealment down to 3, so no reason to ace those out. And also, I think Bullseye is the most important skill in this entire build, because your armor is going to be being depleted a lot, and obviously when your armor breaks, and if you lose, and if you have less health, it's going to take all of your stored health away from you. So we're going to want to keep our armor up as much as possible, and try to keep our stored health as high as it can possibly be as well. So with Bullseye, I really like it with a pistol secondary, because we can just fire off a few quick headshots, and I didn't think we needed it aced, and also we didn't have enough skill points to ace it out, because we can just fire off 2 rounds into 2 heads and get the effects of the ace version. So, Trigger Happy, one of my favorite skills in the game. It is just so easy to play using Trigger Happy when you're using a pistol. Swan Song, I really just picked this up to waste skill points to get up into the higher tiers. We really didn't need Swan Song. I mean, it doesn't work very well with a pistol, and are the primary that we're going to be using. So Swan Song's just kind of there, and it can come in handy at times. We're also going to be running with the first aid kits as our equipment. And honestly, we don't really need these, but we just needed them to get up into the skill tree again. But it is nice to have them, because especially on Death Wish, you can get in pretty big jams with X-Presidents where you just constantly go down, down, get up, go down, get up, go down. And it really is hard to be self-sustainable when you have low health on Death Wish using this perk deck. That's why I think this perk deck it definitely fits in the overkill players tier, not so much Death Wish. So really, is X-President Death Wish viable? It can be, but there's like a handful of better options for you that is just going to work so much better. And obviously these are just basic first aid skills, and also Duck and Cover for more dodge, Hidden Blade to get our concealment down, and Run and Gun I just think is essential on all builds, and just can't go wrong with steadiness increased by 10 with thick skin, and I like running Daredevil on all my builds too to increase our climb speed by 20%. So those are all the skills for the ex-president build. Really, I'm sure I haven't seen a lot of ex-president build videos, but I'm sure this is very similar to a lot of them because I really find that this is one of the only ways to run this build. I mean, you really don't want to run it with, say, shotgun skills. I mean, you could if you run a judge, but we just want our concealment down so low, and pistols just fit that role very well. So I really feel like one of the only ways to run an ex-president build is just pistol skills and dodge skills. So yeah, obviously Inspire, one of the best skills in the game. We just didn't really need to go into any other skill trees but Mastermind and Fugitive, so might as well pick up Inspire. So those are pretty much the skills. Pretty basic stuff. So let's get on to our primary now. I like to run with the GL40 grenade launcher, and I have the incendiary round ammunition, the pirate barrel, don't have a boost on there, I don't really think it needs one, and the sawed off stock. And yeah, this thing is just a dream to use, especially with the incendiary rounds. It stores health very fast, so that's the primary I like to use. For my secondary, the baby deagle might not be the best option because we don't have any ammo skills to increase our ammo count or ammo regain count. So I really think maybe a better option would be, say, the Gruber Kurz or maybe the Beretti 9. But I just like the baby deagle. I've been liking it a lot lately, and it really is amazing to just get those one pop headshots on overkill to just regain your armor almost immediately. So as long as there's enemies around you and as long as you're getting headshots, you're pretty much never going to lose health, and that is just awesome. But definitely the Gruber Kurz or the Beretti 9, or maybe a less damage, more ammo pistol might be a little bit more viable than the baby deagle. But this thing is just a beast, and I love using it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the modifications. We have do we have a barrel on this? No, we don't. So let's go ahead and throw that on. Or does that take away our barrel extension? Okay, that's why I didn't have one. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this then. So the barrel extension I use is the flash hider. Go ahead and put that back on. Sorry guys, I haven't made a build in a while. For our boost, we have a stability boost because we're trading off, where is it? Right here. Somewhere in here, I guess, never mind. I just want more stability. I guess I could put either a team boost or a concealment boost on it, but it doesn't need a concealment boost because we're already at 3 concealment. So the only one I had available was just stability, so I just threw that on. Boosts are weird. I guess just whatever boost you have, throw it on this if you're going to be using this build, and then when you switch your weapons, just throw your boost on another gun. No grip, I don't have it unlocked, and I wouldn't use it anyways because it decreases our concealment, or increases it rather. And we have the spike kit, increase our accuracy by 4, and this is why I had the stability boost on, because this decreases our stability by 8, so I just got a little bit of that back. And no sight, I don't like running sights on pistols. So those are the weapons that we're going to be using. For melee, really whatever you want that's going to get you to 32. I think the ice pick is probably the best, personally my favorite melee to use when you're going for a high concealment. And dynamite for our throwable. Really, you can use whatever you want here. It doesn't really matter. I've just been liking the dynamite lately. Actually, no, I'm going to go with Molotovs if we're running a health regain build. So, yeah, let's go with Molotovs. Especially for Captain Winters, this would be great. And one thing I would have liked to have on this build would be the flamethrower, but there really is no way to get the flamethrower to a very low concealment, so I settled on a GL40 with incendiary rounds. I would love to make an ex-president's build with the flamethrower someday, but I'm just going to have to experiment a little bit more and see how that works out. So that's pretty much the build, guys. Ex-president. Not really my favorite perk deck. I really only use it if I'm bored of the current builds I'm using, if I just want to switch it up. So, I mean, yeah, it's not going to be the most viable thing, but if you guys are just bored of running your standard rogue and muscle builds and armored builds, just throw on ex-president and go on overkill and just have a good time, because it is fun to use, because I just like the idea of being able to store health, and adds a little bit more of a different dynamic to the game, having to pay attention to how much health you have stored compared to just killing things and worrying about your armor going down, and when your health goes down, you just heal up. So I do think it is a cool way to play the game. So that is the build, guys. So let's hop into a heist and talk about this a little bit more. Alright guys, here we are at the First World Bank using the Baby Deagle with the ex-president build. And ever since the Point Break heist came out, I really think the Baby Deagle is one of the best weapons in the game, or at least my favorite weapon in the game. It is just so versatile, and no matter what you're using. I mean, its high damage is amazing, it has decent ammo, and anything the game throws at you, a bulldozer, a sniper, a taser, a cloaker, anything, the Baby Deagle can take it out with relatively no issues, especially on overkill difficulty. So, if you guys have never used the Ex-President perk deck, the way it works, as you guys can see in the bottom right-hand side of my screen, inside my health bar, you'll see a little ring there that is filling up every time I get kills, and that is my stored amount of health. So when my armor breaks and I lose health, I will immediately regain the health that I lost back with my stored amount of health, and it really is so good, especially on overkill. And I'm gonna have to contradict myself from what I said in the first part of this video by saying that I didn't really like the Ex-President perk deck that much, and I preferred other perk decks. But before I get into this, look at this SWAT helicopter right there. He comes down, and we're all out here with like LMGs and GL40s, and he just says, "Nah, fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm out. Captain Winters, I'm out. I'm calling it a day, man. I can't do it. Just let him take it." So that we kind of punked that helicopter right there. Pretty cool. And what I was saying is that on overkill, this perk deck is a beast, and I didn't like it that much because I kept playing on Deathwish with it, and I'm still going to stick to what I said by saying that this is not very viable on Deathwish. I would much rather use Rogue or Muscle, but on overkill, this is probably the best perk deck, or if not my favorite. You can just go entire heist without losing any health whatsoever, never having to hit a med bag or anything. Look at this, the sniper hits me, I lose half my health plus my armor in one headshot, and in 1 second I gain back all of my health and all of my armor. It's just absolutely incredible. And the GL40 is my primary, and I just use it just to like it. You can really use any primary you would like as long as it has a low concealment, but I just prefer the GL40. And yeah, so for overkill difficulty, I really think the Ex-President perk deck is going to be my what I use the most, because I just kept playing. Like, I was getting this footage, and after the initial footage that I got, I kept playing for like 3 more hours because I just could not stop using the Ex-President perk deck because I was dumbfounded in how good it was on overkill difficulty. But I mean, when you take it up to Deathwish, there really are other perk decks that outclass it. Like I said, Rogue and Muscle, and maybe even Armored. But well, obviously Armored outclasses it on Deathwish. But I don't know, maybe I just haven't found the right build for it yet. But I mean, man, this thing is just a beast, especially with this loadout. The Baby Deagle one-shots tasers in the head, obviously headshot. One-shots tasers, doesn't even need to be a crit, but I do think you have to initially activate Trigger Happy. But still, most of the time you're going to get one-shots on a lot of specials, and it really just comes in handy a lot. And this Assault Wave just felt like absolutely nothing. It really makes overkill so easy to use this, but the thing is, when you hop up to Deathwish, it makes Deathwish a lot harder. So this kind of is right in the middle of those two difficulties, and I mean, it's too easy on overkill, and it's too hard on Deathwish, but I don't know, I'm sure I could get away with using it on Deathwish. I might just slow my team down a little bit. So, some more footage I have for you guys after this Assault Wave is this thing absolutely tearing up in the first World Bank vault on the bulldozers. Isn't that the best feeling when you enter in the first World Bank vault? I love that vault so much. So, the Thermite's done. We hop down here. Yeah, this is probably my favorite vault in the whole game. It just looks so good. And one bulldozer down, second bulldozer. I think that guy got a couple shots on him, but he's down. And I hate rewatching footage and seeing things that I miss. I did not know that bulldozer was right in front of me. I was just worried about the money, and here he comes. Boom, took him out just like that. Baby Deagle is an absolute monster. So if you guys have not tried out Ex-Presidents yet, I definitely recommend that you guys fill up that perk deck and definitely try out this build on it, because now I think this build is going to be my go-to overkill build. But I'm still going to make a Deathwish build video and a couple Deathwish viable builds in the future. So for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this build video, and I hope you try it out. I'm going to let the footage roll. It's just going to be us finishing up the heist, and if you guys care, you guys can watch that. But other than that, thank you guys for watching this video so much. I'm really excited to get back into Payday 2 content, and let me just eat all this cash real quick. So thank you guys for watching this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and have a nice day.
Now get through there. That's the way out.